I like that font. Yeah.
Moving on. We are the Cookie Sisters, and I created a new font, and that's what she's laughing at.
It's a really nice font, I will
It's a
say
great
that.
font.
It's beautiful.
I don't know. It's called something.
I need the name of it.
It's
'cause
called Lobster.
Lobster. I'll look for that one because our logo is currently handwritten by me.
Oh, it could be handwritten by you. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm Viv.
And I'm Sammy.
Today, what are we talking about, Sammy?
We're talking about writing.
Ooh.
Oh, indeed. Because guess what? Guess who's a
I'm
writer?
illiterate.
Oh. Okay, that's a bit of a downer on things. Right, we have an illiterate writer, everybody. Applause, please, in the background. No? Okay.
I'm not really illiterate.
No,
Although sometimes I think I am because I mess up the easiest words. But I think everyone does that, right?
Yeah. I mean, you've already seen me do how many typos? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're terrible.
I'm awful at
You need to
typos.
get checked.
I've never been checked. Probably the problem.
Probably, yeah.
So, what are we talking about writing? We like the writing.
We do, we both write. I think I probably write more than you.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you're probably more prolific at writing. I write all sorts of crap, but you are much more consistent and frequent.
Frequent.
Out of context, that's going to be awful.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're going to be talking about all kinds of writing, from the ideas, how we get ideas and inspiration, to our writing process, and to the writers that we like and that we don't like. So we're going to start with, what kind of writing do you enjoy? What kind of genres do you enjoy writing?
I am predominantly a fantasy or sci-fi writer because I tend to find it holds my attention longer.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I've got a few random bits in the works. Some I will probably never publish just because why not? Can't be asked. Other one is one that I may try and put out into the public when it's finished, but it's a long way off.
Mm.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same, because I remember my sister always told me that the further the story is from reality, the better. Because people read to leave the reality of their lives and to enter a new world. So I enjoy writing, normal stories that are set in the real world, but I do prefer the fantasies. And most of my fictional writing is fantasy based. Although one is based in the real world but has a fantasy theme to it.
I do very much agree with that actually, because I too read to escape, which is most of my bookcase is in fact fantasy or sci-fi. Anything that's not there is kind of a minority.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I agree with the whole. Yeah, you can write in kind of our reality, but it is more fun to kind of add a twist
Yeah.
of fantasy or sci-fi into it, because then it just kind of brings you into a story rather than telling you about what's actually going on, because you can read the news for that kind of shit.
Well, I've got a few books that are based in the real world, like they're either romance or whatever, and I've either never finished them or I've not actually picked them up. I've bought them, planning to read them, but I've never actually read them. Will I read them? I don't know. Maybe when I'm an old lady and I'm really boring. But for the moment, I like my fantasies.
When I'm an old lady, I think I will still be reading fantasy novels and sci-fi novels. My mum, actually, I think my gran has read the occasional fantasy novel that I've let her borrow.
Mm.
And she's an absolute Harry Potter nut as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
True, they are, but it's
I
still
don't
fantasy.
think. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. And I don't think people are Harry Potter nuts for the writing. They are Harry Potter nuts for the world
It was
that
a very
it's
nice
in.
world. Yeah. And the
Because
movies I quite liked as well.
Yeah. Apart from the last two.
Really long camping trip.
They could have been done very differently. I would have done them differently.
Definitely. But that's something probably for a completely different time.
Yes,
Because we're going to get into a massive long spiel.
that's true.
Because we're good at that.
We are good at tangents.
Oh, tangent masters.
I
Or segue is the other word people use.
don't like that word.
I
That
just think of the
was,
little two-wheel things that
yeah,
you whiz around on and look like a bit of an idiot.
yeah.
But so that's the kind of writing we enjoy. And because we're big fantasy writers, where do we actually get our inspiration from? Because a lot of people say that fantasy and sci-fi has a grounding in reality, but where do you actually find the inspiration for it?
Well, I get a lot of inspiration from dreams. I have
Hmm.
very weird dreams.
Tell me about it.
Um, like seriously scary, weird. Like question my sanity at times, weird.
That is worrying.
Um, hmm?
That is worrying.
Yeah, they can be very weird.
Hmm.
So I get a lot of inspiration from there. Or actually, this might sound a bit weird. Like
Hmm.
people say, if you read, you'll get inspiration. But because my imagination is so lively, when I
Hmm.
read, I just get absorbed into the story and I don't actually get inspiration for anything. I just think, oh my God, that was great.
Yeah,
I actually get
I'm the same.
inspiration from TV and films. For one story that I'm writing, for
Hmm.
some reason, when I watch Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
I get immediate inspiration.
Hmm.
Like, I just get a desire to write thousands of words.
I think
So
that's to do
it's
with
weird.
visual stimulus.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
your brain
probably.
is seeing an image, and instead of just, having to process words, you just see something and then you go from there.
Mm.
Because I've drawn inspiration from seeing real world things. Like, I don't know, that hill looks really cool. It's like it has a dragon on it, and I at one point started writing a story about the dragons that lived on a hill
Yeah.
because of a weird hill formation.
Yes. Which is perfectly acceptable. You don't have to read
No,
to get inspiration. I don't believe that for a second.
no.
Because I'm a very slow reader.
Same here actually. I've
So
got two books on
if
the go.
I had to read to get inspiration, it would take me a long time probably.
Oh, actually, adding on to that,
That's the point. Yeah.
music sometimes inspires me because I listen to a
Yes.
lot of soundtracks,
Yes.
and they can give you a certain feeling, and then you kind of imagine a world like when you're dreaming, really, except
Mm,
less twisted and weird.
mm.
Because I too suffer from weird dreams. I can't remember the last one, but
Anyway, moving on.
indeed, where are we going from here?
We are going to routine, I think.
Routine. My
Do you have routine?
routine is either opening up a word processor or trying to find a pen. Yeah, normally a ballpoint pen and a pad.
Is that it?
Oh yeah, that is it. I don't have any particular routine. I just kind of go. Sometimes I used to write on scrap paper.
Mm,
I would just grab something that had a writable surface that I could take with me,
yeah.
and I would start writing. What about you?
Well, firstly, I would always make sure that all of my distractions are dealt with. So all of my YouTube videos are watched
Hmm.
first,
Hmm.
so that I'm not distracted. Or at least leave one so that I can watch during a break.
Yeah.
I would either open up Spotify for a soundtrack
Hmm.
or put on Radio 1 because it doesn't really matter what music it is, just as long as I've got noise in the background.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of writers um, like silence, but
I hate silence.
can't write in silence. Um, when you sit in silence, that's when the thoughts start to
Too many thoughts and they
happen.
need to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do that and then I open whatever it is I was working on previously. I reread some pages,
Mm.
try not to edit them because that's
That's really hard.
hard. And then I continue
Okay.
if I can.
I will agree with you actually on the music bit. Sometimes, depending what I'm writing, I'll put a particular soundtrack or genre of music just
Hmm.
because it fits with the flow of my brain.
Yes. So if
So
you're writing like an action scene, you would put on something
yeah,
intense.
no, like
So
that.
my soundtrack go-tos are usually Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
Pirates of the Caribbean,
Oh, that's a good one.
Lord of the Rings / The Hobbit,
Very good.
and sometimes even Harry Potter, because Harry Potter has quite a few soft,
It
delicate
has some lovely pieces in it.
tunes.
Yeah.
So that helps when you've got a delicate situation
Hmm.
in a story,
Okay.
I find,
Yeah.
and you just pick a delicate piece and it
Hmm.
helps.
It
And then
does.
you
It
go back to
does.
Lord of the Rings for the intense.
Yeah. No, at the moment, because I'm writing a sci-fi, I am predominantly listening to the soundtrack to a film called Moon by
Right.
Duncan Jones. The soundtrack is phenomenal. It's very minimalist, with kind of deep cellos in the background and light
Mm.
piano on top, but it
Mhm.
kind of conveys that feeling of empty space because,
Mhm.
well, the whole film takes place on the moon. So it
Right.
just suits the whole feel to it, really. And that's what I
Yeah.
am currently listening to as my main choice when I'm writing.
That's good.
But if it is something like high fantasy, like you just said, it would be things along the lines of literally just what you said.
Yeah. Good pieces. Good
We
pieces.
have good damn taste.
Yes, we do. And that's kind of moved on straight into what helps you to concentrate and your process.
Yeah, that's kind of music, really.
Yeah. Concentrate. Yeah. Music.
Definitely. And
Make sure I've got water
I was about to say, glass of drink of some
or
form.
something. And
It has to be within easy reach, otherwise
mm,
I get too lazy and I can't bother to move across the room to grab a drink while writing.
yeah, it has to be
So
next to you.
it's easy to
And
dehydrate.
you have to be comfortable.
Definitely, yeah.
So because of the back problems that I suffer with,
Mm,
I will spend a little bit of time on my desk and then move to either a chair, a comfortable chair, an armchair, or my bed,
yeah, I mostly sit in an
and
armchair
right there.
actually.
Yeah.
But
So you don't
yeah.
need a desk
No.
to write at because I'm very fidgety, so a
And
desk isn't suitable for me.
yeah, especially if you have a laptop, it's easier to go anywhere. A desk is
Yeah.
more suited when you're like writing with pen and paper because that's just easier.
Yeah.
But most people do write on laptops nowadays because technology has advanced from typewriters.
Yes. Well, yes, for a long time now,
Yep,
Sammy.
I know. Although
Although
try telling.
some people do still like writing on the typewriter.
Yeah, I mean, talk to George R. R. Martin. He still writes all of his on a 1980s OS system on his computer.
Wow.
I think it's like it's just I think it's just DOS. And
Mm-mm.
that's a really fucking old
Yeah, it
OS
is.
system, and that's what he writes on.
Wow.
And he probably has to save it on floppy disks or something.
That guy could afford all the computers in the world.
Yep, he's a funny
That's
one,
why
Mr.
he's
Martin.
taking so long.
I've
He's on an old computer that probably breaks down every 5 minutes. He has to reboot it because it's overheating.
oh god, that would be sad if that was true. But I'm
I bet
mostly
it's
just.
true. That's why it's taking so long. Every 10 sentences he writes, he has to reboot it, and it takes like an hour.
Good God! If that was true, the fans would go ballistic on his
I bet
ass.
it is. If that's true, what he's writing on, I bet it overheats like a bitch. It
Either
can't be.
way, I can't actually be bothered to read Song of Ice and Fire.
I've
I'm
not read any of them,
I'm
but I
I'm
want
watching
Game of
it.
Thrones.
Yeah, I'll watch Game of Thrones because that shit's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
But
it
reading
is.
it is gonna be really heavy, and the heaviest I've
It's a
read.
difficult. They're difficult books to read.
Yeah, the heaviest books I've read are Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even manage those. They are
That
quite heavy as well.
yeah, but I think
Not as
Song of
so.
Ice and Fire is heavier again,
Yeah.
and I would struggle.
It's just the switching and the changing and going
Yeah.
from one place to another. And you're like, oh my god, what?
That's why I can't read the Silmarillion. That hurts. Oh
Mm.
my god. It's literally like reading the Bible. Because it is the Bible of Middle Earth. It's the
Bible
or
is difficult to read.
I've read Bible passages from like children's Bibles.
Hmm. Well,
Last
they
one,
simplify
yeah, the
those.
last one I read was Tower of Babel at a Sunday
Right.
school. That was, and I was surrounded by little Filipino children who were hilarious. I had a Filipino friend, and she took me to church one day.
Right, just randomly.
I'm not Christian, but it was a very
No,
lovely community,
it is.
and they really wanted to feed everybody. It was great.
Yep. Not every Christian is an asshole.
No, that's the same for most religions, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's true. But Christians get a lot of
It's because it's quite a dominant
backlash.
religion, that's all.
Yeah.
People don't like the man when it's overpowering and shit like that. I'm
Mm.
not a social justice warrior. I'm too lazy.
Let's not get onto those.
No. What do
I
we
have
do
strong opinions about
when
those.
we have a writer's block, by the way?
I throw myself out of window.
How often does that happen?
Regular. At least once a week.
Have your parents
Um,
installed a trampoline below your window?
no, my car's below my window.
How many
Um,
dents?
quite a few, but I've lost count. Um, I've broken more bones than Jackie Chan.
God blimey. And he's broken a
Um,
lot.
exactly, he's broken every bone in his body.
Damn.
Um, no, writer's block is difficult. Some people say that writer's block doesn't exist. It's just you being lazy.
Oh no,
But
it
I
does exist.
disagree.
Yep.
Um,
Mental fatigue.
do you know what? Actually, when I get writer's block, if I'm working on something,
Mm.
say I'm working on secrets, and I just don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
I will stop and go to Little Wolf
Okay.
or to something else
Mm.
and see if my creativity can work somewhere else.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I get bored very
Yeah.
easily. Even
Okay.
if I'm really into what I'm writing, I get really bored. So
Yeah.
I have 3 projects going at once
Cool, blimey.
and one abandoned one because that one I literally had no idea
Which
where
abandoned
that was
project was
going.
that?
That was, I don't know if you knew about that one. That was Train to Nowhere.
No, I don't know if I know that one.
No. That one was one based in the real world. And I just,
Was it inspired by Inception? Because I'm pretty sure that's part of a quote from Inception.
no,
Mm.
it wasn't.
They talk about a train that you don't know where it's going or something.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
I
No, it
watched that
wasn't
quite recently.
actually. It was
Okay.
literally about a woman who,
Mm.
all of her life has been about her work, her
Yeah.
career,
Yeah.
and she loses that career.
Oh wow.
So she decides to take a train to nowhere.
Okay.
She just jumps on a train, she doesn't know where she's going, and she
Sounds
sees
like
where it leads her. And
sounds
she
like
learns
yeah.
a lot of lessons.
Mm. Very philosophical piece, that one.
Yes.
Mm.
But it got to the point where I did not know where it was going.
Yeah.
So I abandoned it. I've still got it. So if I one day wake up thinking, aha, Eureka, I've got it, then I can go back.
Yay. Yeah, that's always
But
a good thing. Never get rid of your failed projects.
no.
'Cause they may not be failed after all.
Oh, yes, I have about 7 failed attempts at Little Wolf.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
at first it was going to be a series of children's
Yeah.
short books.
That was
And
it.
then I thought, no, I don't like that. How about first person? No, I don't like that. How about this for a beginning? No, I don't like that as a beginning. And yeah, I still got them all
Yeah.
because I have actually taken parts from those
Mm.
and put them into the version that I'm writing now, version 8, I
Cool,
guess.
blimey.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so to defeat writer's block, I just move on to something else. Or, yeah.
I have to say, I normally stop writing altogether,
Mm-hmm.
and I normally end up doing something
Most
like
people do.
watching something or playing video games. This actually
Yeah.
happens the same with drawing for me, actually. I go
Mhm.
through the exact same process of, right, time to stop drawing, video games, watching, or whatever. That's how I cope with it. It's a fairly standard way of coping for it, but it
Yeah.
helps just kind of let your brain do a different process for a while.
Mhm.
Because writing for me, my brain's always doing the same kind of process.
Mm.
So I need to kind of stop that process, kind of like restart it like a computer.
Yeah.
And that's how I deal with any form of writer's block.
Yeah. See, a lot of people go for a walk. They say, go for a walk. It'll inspire you.
I only do that when I'm
And
depressed or playing
I'm
Pokemon
like-
Go.
I walk my dog.
Hmm.
I can't walk far because I have shin splints and it really
Yay.
hurts.
Ow.
But writing, walking does not give me inspiration for anything because I'm too busy thinking, oh my god, my lungs are going to explode.
Oh
Because I
God,
walk far too fast for my fitness level.
you tit.
Yeah, well. And, I'm too busy thinking, right,
Mm.
I've got to cross the road, the dog's got to sit and wait. And I don't like walking without the dog.
Okay.
I don't like walking on my own. It's
No,
lonely.
I'm not a big fan of it actually.
No. So I don't actually get inspiration when I'm
Mm.
walking. I don't know who does, but it's weird.
I do it to clear my head.
I've
I don't do it
tried.
for inspiration, unless I'm going on a hike and
Mm.
it's like a coastal path. But normally I have
Yeah, I think
people
that's
with me,
different, isn't it?
so that's very different rather than just a walk. Because
Yeah.
I walk every lunchtime playing Pokemon Go, and that doesn't give me any inspiration.
Well, no, it wouldn't.
No, because I'm catching
Just,
fake Pokemon.
yeah. Invisible creatures. Yeah,
I am
no.
that cool. Trust me.
I don't know who gets inspiration walking because it's not inspirational. Unless,
Landscape
like you
will
said,
inspire
you're
me.
going somewhere. Hmm?
Yeah, landscapes, that's inspirational. But if you're just generically walking and not going somewhere that's like the Lake District or a mountain,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
not, yeah,
exactly.
it's different.
Yeah.
Because you have to go out of your way to get to those kind of
I mean, I've
inspirational
got
locations.
beautiful fields opposite me,
Yeah,
but they're not exactly inspirational.
you see them every day.
Yeah. I mean, I did have an inspirational thought because in one of the crop fields there was a tree
Hmm.
and it was right smack bang in the middle and it was on its own.
Huh.
So I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So I tried to come up with things, surrounding this tree.
Hmm.
And, I had a few different ideas, and one was that it was the last tree
Yeah.
in existence,
Hmm. Okay.
and that the oxygen in the world was just,
Fucked.
yeah, basically. And it didn't work. It didn't
Could
at all. And that was fine.
have been
Because
a
that was
short
just,
story, maybe.
could have been, maybe. Um, but see, I seem to like my apocalyptic uh, stories.
It is an interesting way. It's a good way of exploring like human nature and things post-apocalyptic. I find
Because Letum is post apocalyptic.
it
I've got
is.
another story that's post apocalyptic.
It is.
Um, and I've got another one that's post-apocalyptic,
I
but that's a
don't.
different one.
But I don't think I
And
know about that
that's,
one.
I think that's one where there's a character called Sammy in it. But
Hey,
there
I'm
is
gonna be
actually,
famous.
I need to go back to that one actually because it's pretty. But that was totally different tone from the other two.
Oh, okay. Because the
That
other
was like
two are.
heavily around military.
Oh, okay. The other one are kind of basically. They're almost. What was it like? The term's kind of almost hinting at a form of hope, but it's still kind of
But yeah,
got
Letum's
shit going on.
zombie, hope,
I
tragedy.
felt it didn't really focus on the zombies too much. They were just kind
No,
of there as part of the environment.
no, because it was after the zombies had
Yeah.
already
So
destroyed the
I
world.
like that because it was like, well, this is what's happening. It's already
Yeah,
fucked over. Don't worry
yeah,
about what
and this
actually
is the
happened.
aftermath.
No, I prefer the aftermath because the beginning of zombie apocalypses is really overdone in terms of genre.
Yeah. But in the second part that I'm writing of Letum,
Fucking cliffhanger.
um, they
Fuck
do
you.
survive the crash landing.
Oh, they do. Now I
Oh yeah,
know.
they do. Spoiler alert: they land in Texas, and they've got to get all the way up to Washington D.C. on foot.
Wow.
So there will be more walkers
Hmm.
around.
I'm gonna have to reread the
Or
first one.
don't reread it because what I'm going to do is when I finish the second half, I'm going
Mm.
to edit the first
Ah,
book and
okay.
put them both together and just put them as
Nice.
big, one full novel instead of two
Cool.
short novellas.
Yeah.
That's
Ah,
what I'm
okay.
going to do.
Nice.
Um,
If anyone's
yeah, because
interested, the
sorry,
Tum
go
is
on.
available on Amazon right now for digital download. Feel free to
And
buy it
and
after
it's
this
spelled
podcast.
Letum. But no, I reread it a few months ago and I wasn't happy with it anymore.
It happens with every
So
author.
I want to change it. I know, but I really, really
Okay.
wasn't happy with it.
It
I was
was a
like,
long
I could
time ago.
do better, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Oh my god, how many years ago did you write La Tum?
Uh, it's
It sounds.
2014.
Yeah, that was kind of. Okay,
Yeah,
2014.
2014. Yeah.
Only two
Or
years
was it?
ago.
Was it?
Pretty sure
Was
you
it
started
2014?
it. You started it when we were still playing Minecraft, I'm pretty sure.
Balls.
It definitely wasn't 2015. You didn't. do anything with Let that year?
See, damn it, I don't know because I will find out.
There might be a
Yes.
published date on Amazon.
There is a published date on Amazon.
I could probably just Google it now.
But I'm trying to think
Little...
because I wrote it with the job that I was in. I had free time.
There it is. Oh. I can get it for free, apparently.
You've already got it.
I know, but I'm also an Amazon Prime member.
So am I.
It says nothing for Kindle Unlimited. It's £1.16 for something else.
Bargain.
Yeah. When was it published? Oh god, it's not coming up anywhere.
It must. I think it is 2015. No, it's 2014. It's
Here we go.
2014.
Here we go. I purchased this item on the 22nd of April, 2014.
Yeah, 2014. Yeah.
I was still in uni.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Now we know.
Yeah, we got that out of the way. Hey.
Cool.
And speaking of published books and shit,
Oh,
authors'
nice.
writings and writing styles are next on our list. I'm really good at moving through the subject.
You are. That was a good link there. That's good.
Oh,
I like.
yeah. I'll be the master of them soon.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start, Viv?
Don't know. I don't pick books because of authors. Because I don't think an author is necessarily consistent, especially if they don't have a theme or a specific genre. Like, for instance, Stephen King is purely horror. So if you're looking for a horror book, you know who to go to.
His books sometimes appear in crime, though, but
Oh,
I think he walks the line a bit, doesn't he?
Fine, but it's more horror. That guy is insane.
I've never read any of his books.
I've got Stephen King, The Shining, but I'm too scared.
I watched the film, but the film is fairly different to the book.
I'm tempted to watch the film, but I'm too scared.
It's the least scary of the Stephen King
I will
films.
not read it.
Oh, God,
Is
no.
that the one with the clown?
Yes, that's one with the clown.
I hate clowns.
Same
Anything
here.
clowns, you can piss right off.
Clowns are evil. Stephen King knew what he was doing when he wrote that book. He knew people didn't like clowns.
And Pennywise, is it Pennywise?
Yeah, it's Pennywise.
Yeah, that's the
Famously
thing.
played by Tim Curry, who is awesome, but
but
Pennywise
terrifying
is
at the same
God,
time.
yeah.
No, yeah, so I don't really pick a book based on the author. Because if they're not doing a series or they're not doing a specific genre, then I don't think they can be very consistent with the books. I have a book in front of me that I hate. I have not actually finished it. I've not even got past, the first half. And it's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. So many people recommend this book. But I have a serious problem in that if a book doesn't catch my attention after the first 10 pages, I will put it down and I will not pick it up again. I'm very harsh when it comes to books because I'm a firm believer that they should get your attention from the get-go and be able to hold it.
I do agree with that one. You need to have a strong opening, otherwise your readers aren't going to be engaged, and you really need to engage your reader from the beginning.
And I tried Ready Player One. I got it in a loot crate. There's literally there's hardly any dialogue at the beginning. There's a few bits here and there, but for the majority of it, it's all description and movement. And I mean, I'm looking at it now, and the dialogue doesn't really come into it until page 40. Now, that is way too long, in my opinion, to not have your main character interact with someone. Because I don't believe that a story can move forward without dialogue. So I've never picked it up again. It's pretty much untouched. It's pretty much in perfect condition because I've touched it.
Resell it and
Um,
car boot.
yeah. Maybe I'll try again. I don't know. If something doesn't grab my attention the first time, I doubt it's going to grab my attention the second time.
Yeah.
But I did the same thing with Harry Potter,
Oh.
the last book.
Oh. I
Yeah.
was wondering where you're going
Uh,
with that one. Yeah, no.
uh, I started reading it, got about halfway through it, got bored, put it down, and I put it down for 6 months.
Wow.
And my sister had read it in like 2 days or whatever, and
I did
she
as
really
well.
wanted to talk to me about it. And she was like, "You have to finish it. You have to finish it." I was like, "Fine, I'll finish it. I have to find it first. It's collecting dust."
Wow.
So I picked it up, started reading it again reluctantly, and about 2 or 3 chapters in, after this first half,
Mm.
that's when it started to pick up. That's when the action
Is
started.
that after the really long camping trip?
Yeah,
Which they made an entire movie out of.
yeah.
Why? I'm very
Why? What?
angry at them for that.
Oh, I know. But then she wrote the book. It's her fault. She's the reason she wrote half a book on a camping trip that could have been done in like maybe
An
I would
abridged
say
montage.
four chapters, 5 tops.
Yeah, I
You didn't
think.
need a half a book
What even
on a
happened
camping
in
trip.
that? Because I don't actually remember much about the camping trip apart from the visions they were seeing. I'm
Well, they
pretty
were
sure.
trying to find the Horcruxes, weren't they?
Yeah,
And
they
they
found
they kept
one.
moving because people were trying to, get to them.
I'm
They
pretty
had
sure
the,
all the other characters were doing something more interesting than their camping trip, if I
but
remember
I don't know
rightly.
because you didn't see them.
No,
You
but
were
I'm
still with
betting they
them.
were, because
Oh
they were
yeah,
dealing
probably.
with like ministry shit, and the ministry shit's
I
kind of cool.
I'd rather watch Ginny daydreaming about Harry than watch them camping trip and watching Ron be a complete twat for no reason other than he's got a evil thing around his neck. But
Yeah.
yes, I eventually did finish the book,
They're easy books to read at least.
apart from the last one.
Well, because
The
it's
last
boring.
one was terribly difficult to read because I just was so bored.
Ah, yeah.
But like
So
3/4 of the way in, it started to pick up, and that is way too late for me.
that is a bit too late.
And I've never picked it up before. Like all the other ones, I've probably reread quite a few times in
Yeah.
the past. Not recently, but in the
No.
past.
Oh, yeah.
And I've only read that one once, and I will never read it again
I
because
do
it's
tend to
terrible.
read that one just because it means I just finish it off the series because I can read. I read them very quickly, the Harry Potter books. So
I would, if I was to read the last book again, I
mm.
would probably skip the first 3/4 of it.
At least you know now to skip the first 3/4 of it.
Yeah, but then what's the point?
I know.
What is the point? What is the goddamn point?
Oh no! I just realised I've left some of my favourite books at my parents' house. Ah, I'm sad.
You plonker.
They're again children's books, but I fucking love them. It's the Artemis Fowl series. I devoured
Alright.
those books very quickly.
So yes, and like the same with Mark Haddon, Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. He wrote other books, and I bought those because he wrote them, and I thought, oh, I liked the Curious Incident. I must like his other books. That didn't happen. I read half of it and put it down because I was so bored. Never picked it up again. I probably still got it somewhere. I can't remember what it's called though. And it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Okay, well now you've talked about some terrible ones. I'm gonna probably talk about some good ones.
You talk about some good ones.
I'm trying to think. I've got 3 good books here, and
Mhm.
there's one mediocre book that I'll talk about another time. Well, later. I'm trying
Okay.
to think. One is a fantasy novel. One
Mhm.
is a more of a real life novel,
Mhm.
and one is a sci-fi. Which one should I start with? Is the question.
Whichever one. Are these bad ones or good ones?
These are good. These are all
Oh,
good
we'll
books.
start with your favourite one then.
Oh crap!
Oh,
Each
God.
of these books are my favorite from the genre.
Okay.
I suck.
You do.
Okay, I'll talk
Fancy.
about fantasy. The fantasy novel I have here is called The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. Brent Weeks is pretty damn good at writing, and he creates very vivid worlds. Now, I know it's not to everybody's reading because he does jump around a little bit, but it's not as heavy as Lord of the Rings per se. But I would say he is very good at fantasy because he has created an entire magic system based on the color spectrum, light and all that.
Mhm.
And it's one of the most creative, well, magic systems I've ever read in my life.
Hmm.
Because, like, the main character, he's like a little idiot, and he acknowledges that he's a bit of a twat. Oh god, he is. But he knows that. And he comes across this person who is obviously a runaway fugitive. And then he pulls out these weird green spectacles. And he starts shaping the light around him. And it's green light that he's shaping. And it basically becomes like body armor. And he
Okay.
starts fighting off these other guys. And Kip, like, runs away. Kip's the main character. And it's basically just shitting himself. And then it kind of skips a bit from there. Because that's kind of like an introductory chapter. And it starts going right into the kind of nitty-gritty of the world.
Hmm.
So I would say that Brent Weeks, because he only really writes fantasy, is himself a good author because he knows what he can write. And he can write good fantasy because the other one he's written another series, which it is fantasy, but it's also a lot darker and a lot gorier and a lot grittier. He knows what he's doing with it. He wouldn't just randomly jump in and write, I don't know, a crime novel, because he knows that would fail. So
Yeah.
a smart, good writer knows what they can write, and they may dabble outside their comfort zone, but they wouldn't publish it if they know it's shit.
True. Yes.
So I would actually recommend people looking at Brent Weeks if they're interested in quite a different magical fantasy world. But his writing style is very vivid, very visual.
Mm.
So you have to kind of be able to construct his world inside your mind, which can be really tricky at points. Not gonna deny. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It took me a while to read it because I was working at the time, and when I work, my brain gets absolutely frazzled and I don't read as much as I'd like to. I only really got around to finishing it when I was actually working at a bookstore. Because they encourage you to read.
Oh yes, of course there was.
So that is a good book and a good writer and a good writing style because he's consistent. He doesn't
Mhm.
fuck up and he never gets rushed.
Mm.
But he's not slow as George R. R. Martin.
That's good. That's always good.
Yeah, because the final book, I think it's the final book in the series, is coming out this year, and people have been waiting a while, but not as long as other people.
So that's the good thing about me not being a famous writer is that I can take as much time as I want and no one will care.
Yay! Huzzah for that. But not all writers are famous. They have like a small fan base, but
Mm.
you would have never heard of Brent Weeks before. I
No.
assume. No, there you go. He has a good fan base, but it's not like, I don't know,
You only become a famous author if your books are made into either TV series or films.
pretty much, yeah.
Or if
That's
you're
the kind
already
of,
famous.
yeah. And you start bringing out
Yeah.
stories. Like, I don't know, Dawn French.
Yes.
Who was
I
actually
was thinking
supposed
of
to
her
be...
as well.
She's actually supposed to be quite good. I've never read her books, but my nan
I've
likes them.
got one of her books, the first one, and I never finished it.
I don't know
I
what
got
they're
bored.
about. They're kind of daily life, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like a diary kind of thing, and I got bored.
If
I
you're
love
into
Dawn
that
French,
genre,
but
yeah. If you're into
yeah.
that genre, I'm sure they're fine, but we're obviously not really.
Yes, I only bought it because it was Dawn French, but then it wasn't my thing.
Nah, they're not Aussies, are they?
Mm.
What
What's
about
your
you?
next one?
Oh, do you
Hmm?
want to just go about my books? Sure, I'll
Yeah.
talk about my favourite books. Okay, the next one, it's either the sci-fi one or the... I don't really know how to describe the genre of the other one. It's just fiction, apparently.
Mhm.
If I go to the fiction one, because the
Go on
sci-fi
then.
one's really famous. Fiction one is no longer in print, by the way. Because the copy
Okay.
I hold in my hand is falling apart. It was my mum's, and when was it published? It was published way back in 1988.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how old this book is, and it's been well read. It's a book called Scalagrig,
Mhm.
and it's a strange little book. I've not read anything else by the author, so we'll ignore... William Horwood is known for writing a series of books called Duckton Wood, which apparently are well known, but I've never read them.
Nope.
But Scalagrig's an interesting book in that, yeah, it takes place in daily life, but it follows a character with cerebral palsy,
Mhm.
which is obviously a physically degenerative disease, but it
Yes.
is not mentally degenerative.
Mhm.
And it's all about this one girl's um, journey to find meaning behind her illness.
Mm.
And cause she heard about somebody who also has the disease, but he never had the opportunities she had because he was born in like the 1950s or before that, and was just kind of put into a home. And she heard about a legend of Scalagrig, and Scalagrig was apparently supposed to help people like her sort of find their way in life, and she
Mhm.
does it by writing video games.
Okay.
So you have the 1980s style ones that are text based,
Mhm.
and it basically takes you on her journey through through puberty actually, and all the way to adult life,
Okay.
because she even had children by the end of the book. And eventually, she did find who the Scalagrig was, and it's all about the meaning behind what the Scalagrig is.
Okay.
If I read the blurb, Scalagrig unites Arthur, a little boy abandoned many years ago in a grim hospital in northern England, with Esther, a radiantly intelligent young girl who is suffering from cerebral palsy, and with Daniel, an American computer games genius. Scalagrig,
Mm.
whatever the name signifies, whoever he is, will come to transform their lives, and stuff like that. So it's basically about a personal journey, but it's done in an interesting way rather than your bog standard, oh, I'm gonna wistfully go somewhere.
Mm.
Because it takes from someone who has physical struggles, because the author, his daughter, has had whatever cerebral palsy, so he tried to basically understand what she was going through.
Mhm.
So as a standalone book, it's an interesting viewpoint, and I think it's well written because you really do go into this one character's mind, and you see her point of view and how things are going through. It's
Mhm.
been a while since I've read it, but it's one of the few fiction books I'd recommend. But you can't really get it anymore because it's out of print,
Yeah. I'm
which is
sure you
really
could get
sad.
it on eBay or Amazon
Oh
or
yeah, but it's a really
whatever.
interesting book, and it's one of those sort of forgotten books, really, which is a
Mhm.
shame because stories do get forgotten, but things like
Yeah.
this, they feel kind of important just because I don't think there are many books written like this, to be honest. You don't
Yeah.
get books often written by people who, because Esther herself, she can't really talk because of the cerebral palsy,
Yeah.
but this entire book gives her a voice.
Yeah.
So the way they've given her the voice and how she interacts with people, you almost feel her struggle on how
Mhm.
she's trying to go through it. So it's interesting and insightful, that one,
Mm.
and it's well written in terms
Good.
of how it's conveying the I guess the communication between characters.
Yeah.
Because you say that's important in a book, because you said in Ready
Oh
Player
yeah.
One, it fucked it up completely.
Yes, it did. And I think this is his debut
Wow.
novel. But you know, I mean, the Huffington Post said delightful. The grown-ups Harry Potter, and
Uh,
I was just like, I don't
Grown-ups
think
Harry
so.
Potter. Is there what? I'm trying to think. Is there actually something better that could be the Grown-ups Harry Potter? There probably is. Isn't it called Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
It's got
Yeah.
houses in it, and magic and dragons.
Yeah. I just, I couldn't read it. I, if you're not gonna put dialogue in your book, why bother?
The fact that I recommended the book that actually has a character who can't communicate better than Ready Player One.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you get into the book, it'll be fine. I mean, people rave about it, and you
Mm.
know, there's a film being made of it.
By Spielberg himself,
Only
the
because he's
biggie mogul.
mentioned in it.
He's mentioned in it?
Yeah, I just saw it when I was flicking through.
Oh, okay. That'll be
It was
why then.
just someone
Alright. I don't mind
said
Spielberg.
his
He's
name,
good at making fairly easy watching films. Apart from Schindler's
unless
List.
it's includes a shark. Then he's crap.
That's a classic. It's terrible, but it's
It's
classic.
terrible and it's awful and it
It was
is
unique at the time.
pathetic,
Oh,
especially the second one.
no, they never should have made a second one of that film. We should have just been left to Jaws.
Terrible, absolutely terrible.
We're going into films again.
Yes, we need to stop doing that.
Admittedly, I do a lot of
Anyway,
script writing, but
moving on.
where do you want to go from here? Because I have 2 books left.
Oh my god.
I'll talk about the last one. Well, this next one really quickly. It's
Okay,
The
go on then.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh
I recommend it for
no.
people who are very big on British humour and sci-fi.
I watched that film. It was terrible.
Oh, the film is nothing like the books.
The film was terrible.
The film wasn't great. No, it was very Americanized. The film.
I watched the whole thing. Like, what is this crap? What am I watching?
It's American. It doesn't bring out the Britishness at all because the book focuses on a British person who just wants a cup of tea and he's in space. And the film really doesn't convey his issues very well, nor does it have the same humour. But for people who like things like Red Dwarf,
I do love Red Dwarf, but
the film didn't do any justice to Douglas Adams' great writing, sadly. It was very Americanized, which is a shame, and they kind of butchered the book.
as
Because,
they usually do.
yeah, the book itself focuses on it. Oh, it takes a massive dig at, bureaucrats and just stupid shit that a British person will complain about. I'm pretty sure it moans about trying to get, when you're trying to get like your driving license renewed or something like that, and you have to run around in circles.
Yes.
It does that in the book. Not with a driving license, but it makes fun of that, in that the character had to eventually go down to a basement to find a filing cabinet that was inside a toilet with a sign saying "Beware of the leopard," just to find one piece of paper that he had to sign because the government didn't care, and things like that. So I know Hitchhikers isn't everyone's cup of tea, but
Isn't there something about a towel?
yeah, never forget your towel because it's a
Yeah.
very useful piece of equipment in that you can flag down people if you want to hitchhike, and you can, use it as like a headscarf to hide from the sun. It gives very practical advice in places, I will say that. But I will say this is one of the more, I would actually say it's quite a well thought out book. It may seem completely odd in places, but for a combination of humour and sci-fi, which can be really tricky actually.
Well, humour's difficult on it anyway.
Humour's difficult, and this is a very British form of humour, so
Dry.
if yeah, because you have you have the most depressed android in the world, and you have a grumpy English person who would genuinely sit around and queue for as long as he needed to get something done.
Yes, that's what we do. Yes.
I'm pretty sure even in one of the books it talks about how someone's parents were in a queue line for so long that they guessed that, no, it wasn't that, they mentioned like something about people getting conceived in queue lines because they take too long.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. So that's what I have to say about Hitchhikers. It's
Yes.
humour sci-fi that they've pulled off.
Well, maybe I'll try it one day, but the film put me off quite a bit.
The film is very different from the book. What was it you didn't like about the film? I'm just curious.
Oh, it was just terrible. It wasn't funny at all. I didn't know what was going on. There was was there a whale falling through the sky at one point? I can't remember.
That does happen in the book, I will admit.
Yes, there's something about a whale, and the meaning of life is 72. Is it
42.
72? 42.
Those are more explained in the other books.
Yeah.
42 doesn't really make an appearance until later.
I liked the depressed robot.
He was more depressed in the radio series and the books.
But I just thought it was crap.
They didn't do the Ford Prefect character right. And Zoe Dashnell's really annoying.
Hey!
I can't stand Zoe Dashnell.
You are just like
really
Josh.
sorry.
You are just like Josh. Josh hates her as well.
We'll have our own little corner where we can grumble about her out of your
Yeah, you grumble about her, but I will love her because I love Zoe Deschanel. I love her sister Emily. They're brilliant.
I just think Zoe plays she's typecast.
I love her in New Girl.
I'm not watching New Girl.
And I think she's great. I'm
pretty sure I did see her in one film that I enjoyed, but I can't remember the film. Oh wait, no, it was Elf.
Oh.
Stupid ass Christmas film.
It's a good film.
I know. I love stupid Christmas films.
But speaking of crap, you
Mhm.
mentioned earlier before we started recording,
Yeah.
uh, your favorite author,
He's not my favorite
E.L.
author.
James.
Oh God, no, that's a woman actually. E.L.
I
James
didn't.
is
I didn't.
female.
Yes, I know.
You said he.
No.
Oh, I don't know. E.L. James is fucking shit. Dare I pull out a list of quotes from it?
Oh, please don't.
Because it could make you laugh.
No, it won't. It will make me want to jump out of my window and get run over by a bus.
Wow.
That woman must be illiterate. She must have the brain capacity of a 5-year-old, which is disturbing, seeing as it's an erotic novel that she decided to um,
It was an erotic
write.
fan fiction that
It
she
was.
decided
It
to
did
write.
start as a fan fiction of Twilight, which is
Ugh.
disturbing.
Ugh. I can't remember what it was originally
Um,
called.
because I will say for now, while I've not read the Twilight books, I did once enjoy the Twilight films.
I never enjoyed the Twilight films. I
Only
turned it
because,
off after the first line she said.
only because Robert Pattinson. I
I
hate,
like Rob Patterson.
I hate with a passion whatever her name is. What's her name?
Uh, that's her name.
Mardy ass bitch. That's her name.
You need to watch the Cinema Sins for those films.
But I love Robert Pattinson. He's gorgeous.
I will only watch those films with the audio commentary on, so I can hear Robert Patterson being a sassy ass little bitch and making fun of the film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at one point he
Oh,
like does weird Batman quotes or something
I
because
need to
he's like,
watch that then.
and he's like, I don't know what's going on right here. I just read some lines.
I need to watch that. He
Uh,
hated those films, which is what makes it so great.
yeah,
But
when they
anyway,
yeah. Enough of
E.L.
the
James.
films.
She has a problem, a serious problem, and she needs to get help.
I'm
And
reading
that
some of the fucking quotes here, and it's
and that is with ellipses. How many ellipses are in those quotes, Sammy? Have
I'm
they
looking at.
altered them?
Hang on the list. I'm looking at. Let's see. One, two, three. That's all in one sentence.
Oh,
Four, five,
three
six.
ellipses.
Ooh, there's not many in these ones because they've been very picky. Oh, seven.
Well, see, when I
Mm.
read
This is in your like 50
excerpts,
quotes.
when I uh, when I had read excerpts, it was still back when it was a fan fiction because I was
Oh
not going
my
to pay
god.
money. I was not going to pay money to find out how crap it was.
I've
So
never paid
I
money to find out crap it
scoured the
is.
internet and I found the fan fiction. And there were so many ellipses. That was the thing that annoyed me more
Oh,
than
the
her writing
grammar.
style was the ellipses. Like this woman doesn't know what a comma is. She ah
I bet if you say the word semicolon to her, she implodes.
probably or any form of grammar apart from other than ellipses. She probably gets excited over them. But I was
Like, so, oh,
hoping.
I found the perfect quote for what she feels about ellipses.
Go on then.
It's direct from the book.
Go on then.
Desire pools dark and deadly in my groin.
Yeah, that's what E.L. James feels
Well,
towards ellipses
she
when
she
she sees
bas-
one.
well, she did kind of basically insert herself into the fiction.
Yeah,
What
it's
she
kind
wrote
of
is
sick.
what she wanted to have done to her, and that's
It's kind of
fucking
sick.
creepy because she's a. I was gonna slag off what she looks like, but
No, don't be cruel.
no, I'm
Just
not.
be cruel about her
I think it's
writing.
more her expression in the interview that I saw her do when she
She's a
tried to.
strange woman.
She is. She is a strange woman.
Um, yeah,
But
I
anybody who's that age and writes a fan fiction like that.
I am actually surprised
Mm.
that a publisher, would publish a book with so many grammatical errors and that an editor wouldn't take out all of those ellipses and say these are unnecessary. You
Did
don't
she
need to
not,
write
like,
these.
sort of almost self publish? I
I
can't
don't know.
remember
I can't
now.
remember. Surely not, because it sold like hotcakes as soon as it was out. No self-published book does that.
Well, not really self published, but I can't
No,
remember
she
the
definitely had. It was there was there must have been a publisher.
They were the publisher, but I don't think it was a very good. Whoa, Vintage
Well known
Books
one.
published it?
Who published it?
Vintage Books.
Mm.
I swear they normally have a very good repertoire, but I've lost a lot
Well,
of
not
respect for
anymore.
them after that.
But now
Oh
she's
god,
brought
it's
out.
Random House. That explains it.
Oh,
Random House fucking publishes
everything.
Donald Trump. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, she's brought out
Oh, Penguin. I'm
um
disappointed.
the flipping point of view of whatever his name is, Grey,
Christian
Christian
Grey.
Grey. She's brought out three more books of the same story, but from his point of view.
So you can see what it's like inside the mind of
So she's
a sexual
literally,
abuser.
no, she's literally opened up the Word document, changed every she to he, and boom, there you go.
Wow.
Or every he to she or whatever. And that's all she's done, I bet. And
Yeah.
added more ellipses because she can't get enough of them.
I mean, I disapprove of the books just without the grammar because it is not depicting sex in the correct way. Yeah, people do get into BDSM, but what they're doing in the book is basically sexual abuse.
This woman has issues.
She does, and he's so controlling over her. It's disgusting.
She's had serious issues.
Yeah. He's got serious issues. She's got serious issues.
Well, he's only
It's
got issues
um,
because she's got issues. And
he's the
she
one who
created it.
follows her around and watches her sleep and
I'm
tells her what
talking
to
about E.L.
do.
James, how that has issues,
Oh,
not
I was
not
talking about the
listed.
characters.
No. I'm not talking about Anastasia and Christian at the moment. I'm talking about E.L. James. That she has issues to create a book like that.
True, definitely.
And
She has more issues than the person who famously wrote My Immortal, the world's most famous fan fiction until now.
mm, it's terrible. It's just the worst piece of crap that you could read, I think. And I don't
Yeah.
understand why so many women loved it. I have friends that loved it.
Because if they liked Twilight, like
No,
loved
I don't
Twilight,
believe that. I don't because it's got nothing to do with Twilight now.
a lot
It's a
of the
completely separate book.
what you call Twi mums in quote marks really liked 50 Shades. Oh my god, I just remembered something.
What?
When I was working at Waterstones,
Oh no.
I did sell I didn't sell it myself. Someone brought it to the counter. I was like, "Oh,
Right.
I love the film so much, but there's no pictures in this book. I want to take the book and hit her around the face several times and then
She wanted
burn it."
pictures.
Yeah, because she bought the book because the person who played Christian Grey was so hot, and this woman I'm
Oh.
pretty sure was like hitting her late 40s.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't need to know about your sexual fantasies, love. It was just disturbing.
No, I don't understand it. I mean, erotic romance novels are fine. I haven't got a problem with them, but
50 Shades is another matter.
yeah, it's so weird. I mean, I have friends that like it, and I even
Ugh.
was like, why? Um, yeah, it's weird.
Oh my
Don't
god, I just
understand
read
at
something.
all.
The idea for 50 Shades began as a response to the vampire novel series Twilight. No, it was a fucking
Facts.
fan fiction.
Yeah, so, oh my god.
Yeah, I do have to say, in terms of published authors, she
She's the worst.
is. Yeah, she is the worst, and apparently she's still active on fanfiction.net. Oh, apparently it was a midlife crisis that made her write it.
Yeah, she worked for the BBC, I think.
Her dad was a cameraman at the BBC. I'm
Oh, was
reading
it
her
her?
Wikipedia page.
Oh, I thought she worked at the. I don't know. She
Oh
quit
god,
her.
she's
She
the
was
same
able to
age as my
quit her job.
parents.
Hmm.
I don't need. My mum read 50 Shades as a joke, and she said it was absolutely awful. The
Of
grammar
course
was
she. Of
laughable.
course she did, because your mum is a decent human being.
Yeah, she has taste.
Yeah.
And Dad wouldn't touch it with a 50-foot
Well, I'm sure he
barge
wouldn't.
pole because
Not many men
why?
would.
No. I'm pretty sure the people who've read it are pretty much all female.
Yeah.
Or have,
Well, that's
you
what it
know,
was made
yeah.
for, really. I mean,
hmm
Anastasia wasn't the attractive one in the book. It was Christian Grey, wasn't it?
True. Very true. What a special set of books that is.
Mm.
Should we move on from this?
Please, I feel sick.
What about any other books you'd like to discuss?
I don't know.
'Cause I don't think I really need to cover my next book because, in comparison, the writing's phenomenal.
Well, there you go. Everything is. I mean, even Harry Potter's phenomenal compared to freaking James. Um,
The only thing worse than 50 Shades is the grammar in a fan fiction called My Immortal.
don't want to know.
It's really funny in the worst way
Don't.
possible.
No. No. I
Somebody might
don't.
have. Yeah, I won't say anything. People who
No.
are listening, if you know of My Immortal, you know what I mean.
I don't. I can't read like writing that is bad on purpose.
This one wasn't bad on purpose. I
Okay,
don't think.
just bad. Because why would you do that? Why would you waste your time if you know you're no good? You surely know that that's
Because
no good.
they probably
You can't
think
not
they're
know.
good.
No, you can't. No, that is like someone walking onto the stage on Britain's Got Talent and going, "I want to be the next Mariah Carey," and then they are the most tone
But
deaf person.
Viv,
Hmm?
you do know there are people like that because they're delusional, yeah?
Yes, I know, and their family are idiots because they go, "Oh yes, you can sing." No, you can't. And they tell them lies, and they're not
False
doing
hope.
anyone any favors. If my family said, "Oh yes, you can write," but in reality I couldn't, I would kill them because if I, published a book and it was absolutely terrible,
Mm.
worse than 50 Shades of Grey,
Oh
and my
god.
my family were like, "Yes, it's fantastic, you're going to sell millions of copies," and I got, ridiculed for it and, publicly ridiculed
Wow.
for it, I would
Yeah.
feel like I was betrayed.
Yeah.
And surely, when these people that sing on Britain's Got Talent and X Factor see themselves back on television,
Oh god. Be so
they
cringeworthy.
surely hear that. They must hear that and
Mm.
turn to their family and go, "Why didn't you tell me I was so bad? Why did you tell me I was good?" Those kind of
Mm.
lies are the lies that break families apart.
That's why I'm quite glad I had quite brutally honest parents. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an archaeologist. My parents straight up told me, "Oh, you won't exactly make much money from that." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yes, but you don't go into something you do for the money, though.
No, you don't. But admittedly, getting into archaeology is actually really fucking hard
Well,
anyway.
yes. But once again, we're going on tangents.
We're very good at the tangents.
Yes. Maybe we should be called Tangent Sisters.
Doesn't have the same ring to it though, and you
Yeah,
can't get bracelets and necklaces that are tangents unless you're going into like the mathematical term,
yeah.
which is like what that's like an angle,
Yeah.
I think.
Right. So, are we doing it on the writing? Have you got any final words?
My final words are: write whatever you want to write. Enjoy writing. Don't force yourself to write.
Yeah. And if people say you have to write every day, ignore them because I don't write every day because I'm too busy to do that. Funnily enough, I'm too busy to write because I'm too busy writing. Um,
Oh,
because I'm writing for a living. So,
yeah.
Uh, yes. So don't let anyone force you to write what you don't want to write. Because if you do
Yeah.
write when you're not in the mood, you'll write absolute shit and you'll waste all that time. Um, you'll read it back and you'll think, why on earth did I write that? That's terrible. And you'll delete all that work that you've done,
Mm.
which I've done plenty of times because I felt, oh, I really need to write when I didn't really feel like writing.
Yeah.
And it was absolute crap. So I had to delete it all, and that was, 4 or 5 hours wasted.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Good advice.
yes. Now that we've finished our main topic,
We have.
uh, how about a few rounds of Would You Rather?
That sounds good to me.
Good. Right. I've got a good one here. Okay. I've got a
Okay.
few. Okay.
I'm
So,
all ears.
cool. Would you rather smell like eggs when you burp or have a green cloud appear when you fart?
Oh.
I know my answer to this one immediately.
I think the first one,
Hmm.
because at least you can run away as soon as you burp.
See, I would pick the burp one because I don't burp.
Ah. Admittedly, I
can't
don't
burp.
burp very often.
I can't burp, and if I do, it's a massive surprise. And it'll only
Imagine just
happen like
jumping.
yeah, it will only happen like once every 2 or 3 months. I can't make myself burp either.
Weird.
You've got a robot again. Alright.
Hello, hello, get dollar.
Oh God. Actually, that's a bit better. I can actually hear you. Be
Okay.
still a bit. Oh no, you're back. You're back. You're back. You're
Yeah.
back. Okay. So you would go with burp.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's pick another one.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Would you rather know when you're going to die
Ooh.
or know how you're going to die?
Ooh. Now that's tricky because sometimes I enjoy living in blissful ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Like a
Nice.
quote from Slarty Bartfast. I'd rather be happy than right any day.
Mm.
I guess if you know when you're gonna die, you kind of organize yourself a bit more. But if you know how you're gonna die, you get really paranoid.
But then you could avoid whatever's going to kill you.
Yeah, but it depends what it is.
That's true.
Because I like to live in a bit more ignorance, I think I'm gonna go for how. Because if you put a time limit on things, that can make me panic.
I'm going to go for when because then you can just live however you want without any worries, really. And you go, oh, I've got 6 months? Okay, then, great. Right, what can I do in 6 months? And you can go, right, I quit my job. I'm going to go travel around the world. And instead of, I mean, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow and you could have done nothing with your life.
Yeah.
But if you know when you're going to die, you can change that.
True, true. But I think
But you've already picked now, so.
I have already picked, but I am a very paranoid person anyway, which is why I'm going on a fear of flying course in October. Because I am one of the world's worst flyers.
Yeah. Flying's easy.
No, I freaked
You're
out
more
last
likely to get in a car crash than you are to die in a plane.
I did have a near miss of a car crash the other day.
Yeah, I've had quite a few the last few weeks. Idiots, assholes.
I was sticking to the laws. It was the people who were trying to cheat the red light on the roundabout that nearly crashed into me.
Oh, I had someone pull out in front of me and not look. And then when I confronted him at the lights, because I was next to him, he said, oh, you look like you've got a slow car.
That's
And
not a fucking excuse.
I said, that's not how the roads work. And he said, that's how they work for me. I told him to piss off. He told me to fuck off. And we went our separate ways. What I should have said was, oh, your logic makes so much sense. I was in the wrong. My mistake. And just been sarcastic like I usually am.
Hindsight for the win.
Nah.
But sometimes you just want people to fuck off.
Yep.
But
okay.
Yes. Any more?
Yeah,
okay,
I'm just trying to
one
see.
more. Let's have one
more. One more. Okay. Let's make it a good one.
Okay, really good one. Drum roll.
Okay. Would you rather eat a potato and feel its pain, or be a potato?
Is this as in a literal potato? Like literally be a potato?
Yes.
Now, feeling the potato's pain is temporary. So maybe I will eat the potato and feel its pain. Because I would rather not spend my life as a potato. I'm going to be a bitch and eat the potato.
See, I'm already quite the potato.
I'm not much of a potato because I do walk around a lot. I mean, I need to lose a bit of weight to fit in a dress.
But I'm not a potato in that I'm big. But I'm a potato in that I'm lazy.
I will admit I am lazy, but most mornings, apart from this morning, I completely forgot. I do at least 10 minutes of exercise. So I'll eat the potato.
See, I'm not sure.
And
I'm not sure.
Bitch. You have to choose. It's the rules. Would you rather? There's no middle ground.
I know. Oh, I do love potatoes.
They are tasty. Roast potatoes.
I'm gonna eat the potato.
Yeah! She ate the potato.
And feel its pain. I don't know how that would work.
Nor do I. I imagine
But
some sort of mental psychic link between you and the potato as you devour it.
oh, that would be deep.
We're getting to some serious next level stuff in
Yeah,
terms of potatoes.
and their feelings.
Yep.
Oh no. Yes, I would eat the potato.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
on that note, now you know that we eat potatoes and that we can
Peter's
talk a
pain.
lot about writing and various bollocks.
Yeah.
I am Sammy.
Join us for more bollocks next time.
And she is Viv. Talking about bollocks. Maybe one day we will actually talk about bollocks.
No. No.
Okay, no, scrap that idea.
Yes.
We will leave next time a surprise for you, so you can wait in anticipation.
No, because we don't know ourselves.
That was supposed to be a secret, goddammit. I'm not supposed to know how badly organised we are, but I think it's fairly apparent.
Secrets are bad.
Depends on the secret, though. Like, surprise parties, come on.
Well, we can discuss that next time.
Bye!